Jose Ramos-Horta, thanks so much for talking to us.
Pleasure.
Australia's Attorney-General approved the prosecution of witness K and also Bernard Collaery on charges of conspiracy to breach the Intelligence Services Act, and it's due before the courts in September. What is your reaction to this move?
Well, definitely, even myself personally, I'm not involved with the government in Timor-Leste, but even as a private individual, I would have to say this is purely an internal Australian legal matter. However, it cannot escape the fact that witness K and Bernard Collaery, they are the one who set off in motion the reopening of the Timor Sea Treaty case because of their exposure of the unfair, bad faith, espionage, placing electronic bagging throughout the Timor-Leste government at a time when negotiations were underway between a powerful, rich Australia and an impoverished Timor-Leste. So Mr. Xanana Guzmão, then Prime Minister, when he heard about the espionage case, he immediately demanded renegotiation of the Timor Sea Treaty because in his view, and later confirmed by the International Court of Justice, the bagging was illegal, unfair, and was manifestly a case of bad faith, leading to the very positive conclusion of these years of dispute between Timor-Leste and Australia. So it is unavoidable that the case obviously stays in the mind of many Australians and many Timorese.
The Attorney-General says that the decision was made by the Director of Public Prosecutions, but that decision did require his approval. Do you believe he should have shut it down?
Well, I can only make an appeal as a human being. As a friend of Australia, I have the highest regard for Foreign Minister Julie Bishop, Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull, the way, with vision, with statesmanship, they backtrack from past Australian positions to restart negotiations with Timor-Leste under UN mediation to resolve this case that set an excellent, extraordinary precedent for the rest of the world, whereby whenever there are maritime boundary or land boundary disputes, countries in dispute should settle amicably through mediation, whether regional, bilateral, or international mediation. So bearing that in mind, and bearing in mind that the two individuals in case, witness K and barrister Bernard Collaery, did not commit an act of treason in a situation of war between Australia and China, Australia and North Korea. It was a very case of a moral conscience. And I would hope that the Attorney General, who I believe is a good man, he is trying to uphold the law on intelligence, but bearing in mind that it's very much a case of conscience that has zero impact on Australian national security. Quite the contrary, it contributed to enhancing Australian regional international reputation. I'll say, please, drop the case and let them continue their lives normally.
East Timor decided not to pursue the Australian agents who bugged the cabinet room in Dili. Do you think there's a comparison there, that East Timor made that decision and that Australia should similarly not prosecute Bernard Collaery and witness K?
Exactly, because we agree to drop the case with the International Court of Justice. It was dropped, the espionage case, on condition that negotiations start on the maritime boundary. Australia agreed to that. So I think it would be just fair. And for us, me, I'm talking as a human being, as an individual, I compare witness K, Bernard Collaery to the many friends of Timor-Leste in Australia, in Portugal, in the United States, Japan, who Timor-Leste as a state, as a country, have honored in the past with highest decorations from our president.
Some people consider that it was an act of corporate espionage designed to benefit a commercial entity rather than a nation state. Is that the way you see it?
Well, I don't know, but it's possible, obviously, because in the end, it would benefit Australian oil mining companies, probably, and had zero to do with Australia's national security interests. It was not to look at both people smuggling, drug trafficking, international terrorism, nuclear and ballistic missiles from North Korea, Chinese influence in Timor-Leste that might be detrimental to Australian national security.
Australia's Foreign Minister Julie Bishop has been in East Timor in recent days. She says the prosecution is a domestic legal issue that has nothing to do with East Timor, and the East Timorese government agrees with that. Is that the way you see it as well?
Yes, definitely. I agree with that, with Foreign Minister Julie Bishop's assessment. She's a great lady and great Foreign Minister. In Timor-Leste, she's held in high regard because she's credited for reversing Australia's stubborn policies of the past. I agree. But having said that, we cannot simply dismiss this because they contributed to resolution of the Timor Sea saga. It was through their action that opened the window for the then Prime Minister of Timor-Leste, Mr. Xanana Guzmão, to challenge the Timor Sea Treaty.
Can I ask you, do you think without the interventions of Witness K and Bernard Collaery, would East Timor have been able to push Australia for the agreement that has now been reached over maritime boundaries?
Difficult to give a straight answer on that. Yes and no. I believe eventually justice would prevail, but Witness K and Bernard Collaery action did accelerate the process because it exposed the weakness, the immorality of Australia's position at that time. So Julie Bishop redressed that wrong policy, and we reached exceptionally good agreement.
Jose Ramos-Horta, we'll have to leave it there. Thanks very much for talking to us.
Thank you, and God bless you.